All right, using probability models here. So, a couple things to talk about and discuss on this one. Just basically, this goes along with geometry too. You'll find that geometry and algebra end up being pretty similar after a while because a lot of the concepts do end up overlapping. Same thing. You get higher up into math with like statistics and calculus and everything, a lot of the concepts again, like they will all overlap each other. So if you've done this in geometry before, even in middle school, elementary school, a lot of the concepts are very similar here. Probability, just like frequency of events. So like the best example I like to use are dice. So you roll the dice, you have a 1 in 6 chance of landing on any given number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so then you just roll the dice, figure out the probability. Okay, this time I got a 1, this time I got a 3, this time I got a 6, something like that. Or a spinner, that's another good example that I like to use. You have a spinner, could have however many colors you want on there. You spin it, and then it could be, say you have 3 colors, 1 in 3 chance, 8 colors, 1 in 8. So this shows a 0 chance of occurring, 50%, and 100% chance of occurring. So probability calculates the percentage of something occurring. Theoretical probability, the likeliness of an event to occur based on the possible outcomes. Experimental probability, the ratio of the number of times an event occurs to the total number of trials performed. Okay, making fair decisions. All right, so fair decisions, you have colors here. It's just showing you different examples. Here, marble. So this is picking up, you have 4 different color marbles. You have 1 in 4 chance. So 1 would be 1 in 4th, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, like that. So let's see, they're all 0.25% chance. Is it fair? Yeah, because they all have an equal chance of getting a different color marble. Now, if you had 2 blue marbles, 4 red, 1 yellow, 1 green, do you have a fair chance? No, you don't. Okay, here's a couple other examples. Flipping a coin. This is a good example with probability. Heads and tails, you have however many chances of landing on heads and tails, and here's your outcome when you're flipping a coin. Dice is same concept. I kind of showed this, like talking about this before. So let's see. Let's go to Elena. The spinner, I talked about this before. They only have 2 colors on this spinner, so they made it pretty simple. This just breaks it down a little bit more for you with flipping a coin. And let's see, we have dice, rolling the dice, and the same concept is breaking it down. How many times have you rolled on each thing? Same thing, spinner, you have 2 different colors. Okay. Deck of cards, so is it morally fair? Now, this would mean when a method is morally fair, the decision is made based on the standard that is established. So for these 4 students submitted their project with the understanding that they would be judged on quality, creativity, making decisions based on some other method that's morally unfair. So here, like, how would you judge on quality and creativity? And is it morally fair? Are you pulling, like, do you have the right amount of cards? Is it a fair decision when you are like pulling a card from a deck or like making a decision? Okay, so we can review these examples as well. Now it says the first one, a soccer coach is deciding which of the 2 goalies that should start in today's game. He flips a coin and makes a decision based on whether the coin lands on heads or tails. It's statistically fair only because you're just landing on heads or tails. That's it. And let's see. Next one, a dad is deciding which of 3 meals to make for dinner tonight. He rolls a number cube and it makes a decision based on whether the number rolls 1 to 2, 3 to 4, or 5 to 6. That's statistically and morally fair because he's making decisions based on what the dice is rolling or the cube is rolling. The next one, A teenager is deciding which of friends' concert to attend tonight. She decides to go to friend A's concert because she went to friend B's concert last time. Morally fair only because she's just making the decision based on the concert she went to last time. All right, so the next one, we have the simulation tools, and this is just giving you an example of, let's see, just a couple of things. We have number generator, spinner, a couple of things I've already talked about, number cube or dice, coin, playing cards, other objects as well. Okay. And analyzing the strategies, and this shows a spinner. What is the opportunity of landing on each color? All right, diagnostic testing. This just kind of goes with some other information. Talks about test is false, test is negative or positive. Here are the false or true outcomes for it. And this shows like a testing. So maybe cat up for adoption, determining whether or not it has a risk of something. So maybe a certain type of health condition or something like that. We want to determine, does it have the condition or does it not have the condition? And if it doesn't, is it at risk? So this is how they would do something like that. Typically be some sort of like genetic testing, like a blood test or something like this. All right, we'll have you answer this question on your own. This just talks about a couple other testing, diagnostic testing. So I suggested the genetic testing, which is like a blood test. You try to figure out whether or not something has a certain condition. So that would be a good example. And this is just going over a couple things about it as well. Questions, love you do the questions on your own, and hopefully that clears up some probability things for you and gives you just a little bit better of an understanding.